Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Eisenhower Eagle Football Review. I'm Tim Meyer with Coach Chris Smith. And Coach, 17-14 against the Romeo Bulldogs, who were undefeated all year and only allowing 4 points a game. But your guys came out and played a near-perfect first half and held on to win this ball game.
Right, you know, we've been doing it the last couple of weeks, coming out strong in the first half, and we did it again tonight. You know, our team's really improved every week. We've played just a killer schedule the last 5 weeks, and you know, we're excited. The kids played hard. The kids really wanted to come out and beat Romeo, and I'm just, you know, proud of them and the coaches.
You know, a lot of people had their doubts because you had to play Warren Mott, Chippewa Valley, and Romeo, not necessarily in that order, but three very tough teams here in this MAC division, MAC Red Division, and the leader in the white.
Right, and not only that, that's coming off of playing Dakota, Grosse Pointe South, who is one of the top teams. Then you go to Chippewa Valley Mott, and then finish off with one of the top teams in the county at Romeo, you know, against Romeo. So, you know, we've just been taking it 1 week at a time, and you know, challenge the kids early in the week to come out here and don't listen to the hype of them being 8-0. Watch the film, evaluate the film on them, and let's get better and let's go out there and, you know, play our best game.
You saw Brad Tanner, you saw his athletic ability, and Paul Hurley, their quarterback, as they just played a little backyard football, hooked up a couple of times, one for a touchdown against you guys, and made it real close at the end. Tell us a little bit about that last play there on 4th and goal.
Yeah, you know, it's 4th and goal, and it's tough to score inside the 5-yard line. We've been playing great defense. You know, we gave up a couple big passes there in the fourth quarter, but you know, that's going to happen when you play against a great quarterback with a great receiver out there, and we got a junior corner, you know, playing over there. You're going to give up those big plays. Nothing that our corner did. I thought he played the coverage well, but when you got great players, you're going to make great plays. So 4th down inside the 5. The field gets shorter, and you know, our strength is in our front and in our linebackers, and that's where they can really excel, is inside that 5-yard line.
Well, you told me you were trying to call timeout to save some seconds, and nobody heard you.
Yeah, nobody heard me, so I was, you know, sometimes you know, they're looking down on you.
Yeah, well, you know, it was a loud crowd there, and the dog pound over there on the Romeo side was screaming and yelling as well, so very difficult to hear. What's it feel like to get into playoffs at 6 wins and get a clinching spot there instead of maybe a 5-4 win and get in?
No, it's huge. You want to get the 6th win. You know, last year we did the 5-win thing, got in, and it just doesn't feel the same. You know, the state makes the rules. 6 wins, you're in. It's guaranteed. So now we know we're guaranteed in. We don't have to wait for Sunday to see, you know, what happened or if we're in or not. We can celebrate and you know, really go to the selection Sunday and you know, just watch and see who we're going to play.
Now the toughest question of the night. Was this final finish here bigger than the one that Michigan State put on Michigan?
It was bigger. It was bigger, and the reason is because, you know, when you're a part of it, it's bigger. And so for us to come and play an undefeated Romeo team who's riding really high and playing great defense, this right here is bigger.
Any idea if you're going to have a home game for the first game of the playoffs at 6-3?
Nope, I have no idea. I'm just we'll watch Sunday just like everybody else.
One of Eisenhower's big stars tonight on defense, which was a big part of the Eagle victory tonight, is Salvatore Voltaggio. And, man, that was a battle.
Yeah, it was. It went down to the wire. It was 17-0. It was 17-0 with 5 minutes left. Coach was calling out 5-3-D, so we're trying to play the pass. We let up a couple big plays, and our defense just came up big the last play.
You guys shut them out in the first half, and you shut them out in the third quarter, even though they had the ball for pretty much the whole quarter. Were you getting tired out there?
It was pretty tiring, but we run on Mondays, Tuesdays, you know. So, yeah, it was pretty tiring, but, yeah.
Well, I know you run with your cousin, right?
Yeah, we run with my cousin Alfonso. He's actually here tonight in Lancelong, so.
Tell me a little bit about what was going through your mind when you had to get on that field with 3 minutes left to play and Romeo's threatening to win the game.
Well, the drive before, I think they scored in like 50 seconds, so I was like, they could score at any time, so we just got to go out there and play our best defense.
And what was it like in the trenches against Romeo? They're 8-0 this year, and what was it like playing against those guys tonight?
They're a great team, but Coach Smith told us that they're beatable, and it'd be great if we could beat them. We went out there and we did that.
And how did you I know that their quarterback, Paul Hurley, is pretty squirrely.
Yeah.
And what was their game plan going into that game to try to contain him?
Just contain him the best we can. On pass plays, coach will tell us to widen out, or they tell the matter to drop back and play him. So, yeah.
Do you hold back on some of your rushes? I mean, with that in mind?
No, I don't. I try and sack him every play.
Okay, I know you want to say hello to some folks out there, so I'll let you do that.
I want to say hi to my mom, my dad, my two brothers, Vincenzo and Marco, Fonzo, Lance Long, and my buddy Lametta. I got his back. He's got mine.
Another Eisenhower defensive star, Danny Schmick, tonight, and you put some licks on some folks out there, Romeo. They came in, they're 8-0. They have some senior studs out there, but you guys held them scoreless for 3 quarters of play. What do you attribute that to?
Well, I attribute that to working hard all week in practice. We were ready for this. We came out. We knew what they were putting at us. We knew what their offense was. So we practiced it all week, perfected it, and results the same every time.
And you guys had them down, on the ropes, and all of a sudden, boom, they score. What was going through your mind when they scored that quickly, that first touchdown?
I don't know. I was like, oh God, don't tell me in the second half that they're going to come out and start pounding us. We got to get our stuff back together. We got rolling again. We stopped them. Our offense had a bad fumble in a bad spot. Bad play, but we came through.
Tell me a little bit about that last play when Cody Goff intercepted that football. What were you seeing as the play was evolving?
Oh, I saw he was running the slant and he came back in, and I just knew Cody would be there. I knew he was there. He's a great player. I knew he was going to be there to pick it off. I wasn't worried.
And when he came up with that football, what was going through your mind?
Oh, I was so happy. I couldn't even process the thought. I'm still so happy right now.
Talk a little bit about what it means to outright clinch and get in the playoffs.
Well, it's a tough road. You work hard all season. You don't know if you're going to get in or not, but, it's a great feeling getting in, barely getting in. We're going to come do some damage.
And no idea who you're going to play?
No, but we're ready for anything.
Okay, I know there's some folks you want to say hello to out there, so go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say hi to my mom, my dad, my brother, and all my friends right there. Jake DeBow, Logan Cox. They all support me out here.
Well, you guys put up 17 points against a tough Romeo defense that has only been allowing an average of 4 points a game. And you had a couple of key runs. It seemed to be a play that was open for you all the time. Talk about that sweep that you were running.
It was the bubble. Coach Giorgio and Coach Layson are up there in the box or reading their defense and seeing what's open. The perimeter was open. The corners were bailing. Safeties were backed up. So he wanted to throw that bubble, and it was a good play for us.
When you guys were in the locker room, you're up 17-0. You score some touchdowns. You got, Joe and Andrew got over the line there and touchdown, man. You think you're doing pretty good here. What were you thinking coming out of that locker room?
I was thinking in the locker room that we have to finish because the Chippewa and Warren Mott, we haven't really been that good of an offense coming out in the second half, so I really wanted to change that, and we wanted to change that as an offense, and we had to settle down. We couldn't celebrate in the locker room. We had to come out and try to fight, and we tried, and, we got the W.
What's that mean to clinch the playoffs outright for this football team? What does that mean to get the 6 wins and qualify automatically for the state playoffs instead of going in at 5-4?
Oh, man, it feels great. A lot of people doubted us, say we wouldn't finish these last 3 games with a W. And we turned out to finish the season 3-0, finish 6-3, and get into the playoffs and prove a lot of people wrong. So it means a lot to us, and I feel like we'll put in a lot of work in the playoffs.
Okay, Kadari, I know you want to say hello to some folks, so go ahead.
I'm going to say hello to my parents who are gone, and say hello to my grandparents. Shout out to Jake Bradshaw and Logan Friedel.
We'll be back with game highlights in the Eisenhower Football Review right after this.
The Eisenhower Eagles needed one more win to clinch a playoff spot. They had to get it by defeating an 8-0 Romeo Bulldog squad, champions of the White Division. It would not be an easy task. Eisenhower would get the ball first to start the game. They go right to work as Kadari Johnson rips off 25 yards on this bubble screen. The Eagles would be forced to punt, however, and Eisenhower's defense would get its first test of the game. Ike would get the ball back again, and Kadari Johnson once more rips off 25 yards, getting the Eagle offense going. Then Andrew Sokowski busts this run outside for 18 yards. Kadari Johnson shows good patience and gets good yardage on this run. Number 2, Jacob Albrecht, gets good yardage here, close to a first down. On fourth down, Max Whitwer fires a strike to number 80, Willie Hunter, good for the first down. Number 27, Andrew Sokowski, almost breaks this one. The drive moved into the second quarter, where number 39, Joe Metz, would pound the football into the end zone, and the Eagles were up 7-0. On third down for Romeo, number 62, Noah Lametta, stays home and breaks up this screen pass, forcing Romeo to punt. After a poor Romeo punt, Eisenhower gets good field position, and again, Andrew Sokowski almost breaks it. Eisenhower's quarterback, Max Whitwer, tries to go for 6 here. This pass is not ruled a pass interference, as is called incomplete on third down at the Romeo 26. Number 1, Paul Kessler, makes this outstanding catch, keeping both feet in bounds. Good for an Ike first down. Andrew Sokowski would get the Eagles to the Bulldog 5 with this run. Then Sokowski would take it in from the 1. The extra point was good, and Ike now led 14-0. Romeo fans' spirits were buoyed when the Bulldogs got the ball back. Paul Hurley rips off a chunk of yardage on this run. Ike's defense would get the ball back to the offense, but somehow number 27, Andrew Sokowski, gets through the line and goes 33 yards into Bulldog territory. Max Whitwer takes matters into his own hands on third down, but comes up a little short, and the Eagles are forced to punt. The Eagles get good punt coverage here by number 24, Anthony Saputo. It's Kadari Johnson once again on the bubble screen. This time it's good for 31 yards. Then it's Max Whitwer hitting Paul Kessler. Good for another 24 yards. That play would lead to this 32-yard field goal by number 20, Austin Mitchell, making it 17-3, and that would be the score at halftime. To begin the third quarter, Romeo would get the ball first. Eisenhower's defense needed to keep Romeo from hitting the big plays. Number 43, Danny Schmick, makes a solid tackle here. The Bulldogs would use most of the third quarter marching deep into Eisenhower territory. The Bulldogs attempt this 37-yard field goal, but Zach Nye's kick is wide left, and the score remains 17-0 Eisenhower. In the fourth quarter, Eisenhower is forced to punt, and they get great coverage from number 55, Lucas Jelli. The Bulldogs had great field position. Number 31, Jack Servey, makes a good play here with breaking up this pass. On 3rd and 7 from the Ike 50, Salvatore Voltaggio grabs quarterback Paul Hurley and keeps him from getting a first down. On fourth down, the Bulldogs go for it, but Anthony Saputo and Brandon Rabicki say no. With the Eagles unable to move the ball on the ground, Max Whitwer goes to the air, and he finds Kadari Johnson, good for 19 yards. The Ike drive would stall, and the Eagles are forced to punt. The Bulldogs needed big plays, and they got them. Number 4, Mitch Heimbuck here with a big gainer. Then Paul Hurley heaves this bomb deep to Brad Tanner, who goes into the end zone for a touchdown. The extra point was good, and Ike's lead was cut to 17-7 with a little over 5 minutes to play. When Ike got the ball back, they needed to string together some first downs. Kadari Johnson gets them started with good yardage on this run. The Eagles' offense seems to implode here on this illegal procedure penalty. Max Whitwer fumbles the ball, and Romeo recovers right there at the Eagle 22-yard line. On the Bulldogs' first play after the turnover, Paul Hurley's pass is dropped by the Eagles' Brendan Rabicki. Romeo's Paul Hurley would go into the end zone from 6 yards out, and the score now was 17-14 Eisenhower. When the Eagles got the ball back again, they desperately needed to string together some first downs to run out the clock. The Eagles could not get a first down and were forced to punt. This short punt is covered nicely by Mario Augusto and Lucas Gelli. Romeo had the ball with a little over 2 minutes left to play. They would march down the field, and on 3rd and goal, this Paul Hurley pass is intercepted by Eisenhower's number 22, Cody Goff, sealing the victory for Eisenhower 17-14. Ike clinches a spot in the state playoffs.
We'll be back with a special feature after this.
It's another fall Friday night, and your kids should be
playing high school football.
It's a fun game, and it's safer than ever.
It's safe because the rules, the coaching, and the equipment are better than ever before.
As a result, serious injuries are at an all-time low. Seriously.
And builds
strong schools, lifetime memories, and tomorrow's community leaders.
And it's mother approved.
It's a great game, and we want to teach it to your kids.
Today's Eisenhower Eagle Flashback takes us back to the year 2011 and a playoff game between the Eisenhower Eagles and the Dakota Cougars. Eisenhower was rolling early on offense as Daniel Vendetti rips off 18 yards on this play. Yosef Buhaidar takes this reverse to the Cougar 14-yard line. Then the Eagles draw first blood as Joe Zarafa hits Dan Chmielewski in the corner of the end zone for the touchdown. With the Eagles up 7-0 in the second quarter, quarterback Joey Zarafa sees wide open space on the left side of the field and takes off and goes all the way to the Dakota 18-yard line. While the Eagle offense could not score as a result of Zarafa's run, The defense kept Dakota from doing anything on offense. When Ike got the ball back, they went to Buhaidar again, and he did not disappoint. On 4th and goal, Joe Zarafa puts himself in the middle of the rugby scrum and forges forward for the touchdown. Ike's lead now was 14-0. When the Cougars went to the air, the Eagles were there. Here's a fine play by Idodi Kurobo. When the Eagles got the ball back, it would be Zarafa to Buhaidar once again, making it 1st and goal Eisenhower. Number 37, Daniel Vendetti, gets the call at the 3-yard line. He makes a nice cut and goes into the end zone. The score now is 21-0 Eisenhower. Eisenhower's David Curl would chase down the Cougar quarterback, strip the ball from him, and it's recovered by the Eagles' Alfonso Voltaggio. The Eagles waste no time after the turnover as Joey Zarafa hits Yosef Buhaidar, and he does the rest. The extra point was good, and Ike led 28-0. The entire evening was not a pleasant one for the Dakota offense, courtesy of the Eisenhower defense. The Eagles' Shane King would cap the scoring, blasting through a hole on the left side of the line and bolting 30 yards to the end zone for the score. The Eisenhower Eagles would move on in the 2011 state playoffs by swatting the Dakota Cougars 35-0. Well, folks, the Eisenhower Eagles hold on to defeat the Romeo Bulldogs tonight, 17-14, playing a nearly flawless first half, and even into the third quarter, Romeo drove down the field. They got a few breaks, but then Romeo got the breaks at the end, recovering a fumble and a bad punt by Eisenhower, scoring within 50 seconds, making it 17-14. And there was 4th and 5 at the goal line, and Cody Goff comes up with a big play. With an interception in the end zone, and the Eagles go on and defeat the 8-0 Romeo Bulldogs by a score of 17-14. For Coach Chris Smith, I'm Tim Meyer saying we'll see you next time right here on the Eisenhower Eagle Football Review.